Old Sterling. What could have been with this thing? It's going to be a quick one. I'm not a fan of it. But I do want to talk about what to look for if, and I mean if it drops. I think it lacks in a lot of spaces. It's pretty much a reskin of Skaithlock, only Old Sterling is Strand. Skaithlock has that 20 zoom that's about to get nuked. It's a world drop weapon. Few and far, but to my surprise, it's the most consistent one for me. I've had about 3 or 4 of these things drop. 600 RPM, a class that's had its ups and downs. Like some 600s to this day still hold up. I have a couple Gnawing Hungers. Subsistence, Demolitionist, Void Sub, Grenades, Volatile Rounds, Devour. It's fun, it's good. Zen Moment Kill Clip, a monster. Like, you have no idea how much of a monster this thing is. But I wanted something like this for Old Sterling. With it being Strand, you kind of hope it can rely on that kit a little bit. And in all gameplay for the Crucible, you're gonna be seeing this roll right here. Surplus Adagio, and this was intriguing to me. At first, I should say, because Season 22 range is getting that shake up, that mid-range. And if we can get one of these ARs to 70, 80, 90 range, it should do okay. So in this case, it is 60 range, get a kill. Adagio adds 10, so we're at 70 range. My particular roll was Surplus with max stacks. On paper, this sounds awesome. 70 range, 79 stability, 100 handling, 100 reload. We also have field tested on this thing, so it's actually 73 range after that first kill. Then 76, 79. If you go on a high streak, it will be at 90 range. And what Adagio does is it makes it a 7 crit to any resilience, a 0.72 TTK. That's actually really good. If it's tier 8 and below, you can land 6 crits, 1 body. Without Adagio at base, a 0.8 TTK. Again, mid-line, that's pretty good. Most of the time you have to land 9 straight crits, so something like Surplus really helps out with that. But currently, even when the shakeup kind of happens, right now in the sandbox in the Crucible, this thing isn't cutting it. A lot of laning going on. It was just simply underwhelming. And when you look at the perks, third column, rewind rounds, perfect float, hipfire, discord, surplus. Slideways could be good. The fourth column, harmony, frenzy, hatchling, demolitionist, focus fury, adagio. So PvP wise, like I tried something like focus fury. And as I talked about in the previous video, I like that on pulses and scouts, more safe weapons. Because whenever I would get on a focus fury streak, just out of nowhere, I'd get picked off by a gravelance. It doesn't mesh very well. So for PvP, really it'd be Surplus or Slide with Adagio. And then we get into PvE. I did get one of the roles that I wanted, but let's check this out. First of all, we have Hatchling. What can we pair that with? Rewind rounds? Possibly. Switch to it? Discord? Surplus for a reload? You know, my issue is something like Rufus. Especially if we have it crafted, we have Demolitionist Hatchling, Rewind Hatchling, just like this thing has. Round Robin, Subsistence Hatchling, the Glissando Scout, Reconstruction Hatchling, Overflow Hatchling. And I started thinking, well, what about Demolitionist? And the point is, like, a lot of weapons can do what this thing does just so much better. Even being Strand. But the one that I was eyeing that I did get was Rewind Rounds Frenzy. You're just gonna lay into enemies, it's gonna keep throwing ammo back in. Frenzy's gonna give it that 100 handling, 100 reload speed. And you're gonna be living in Frenzy most of the time. And Rewind, you can just keep that mag going. But again, Rufus has this, a couple other weapons are similar. And then I look at the Strand kit, I'm a huge fan of Perpetualis. Golden Tricorn PvE with Strand, really easy to do. 50% more damage, you pair that with Killing Wind, a little bit more range, and just getting a simple kill in the first place at ×1 is 15% matching frenzy. I don't know. I was really hoping for something like Subsistence Hatchling, Subsistence Demo. And the conclusion that I came to, a lot of the stuff for PvE, since this thing is so hard to get, you probably have something from your past. And if you don't, this thing's got to drop in the first place. And PvP wise, I think they're going to be a lot better ARs once the range does its shake up. This thing was struggling bad. So yeah, I'm not a fan of it. When they do drop, look for Rewind Hatchling, Rewind Frenzy. PvP, look for Adagio. Maybe even Hatchling if you want. But in the end, I just think simply it's a bad weapon. You're not really missing much, because these things are tools that we have in our toolbox to elevate our kit. And this thing doesn't do it very well, at least not as good as a lot of other things. I'd love to hear your thoughts though. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about Old Sterling down below. I had a horrible time using this thing, not fun, a constant letdown. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.